What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for today I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys on the official patch notes for update 4.0. Now I gotta be honest, I was not expecting to see these things, not until I would say next week, maybe Monday or Tuesday. But I guess Netmarble was trying to get ahead of the mess that happened where a community manager got a little bit too excited and freaking released this thing days in advance. Hopefully that guy didn't get fired, because that would really suck to just like be a little bit too overzealous and release something that is eventually going to be released, but you just release it 5 days early and you end up losing your job over it. So hopefully this guy didn't get fired for that, because I can definitely see that being something that someone would lose their job over, especially since this actually caused a good amount of controversy. People were losing their minds about it, and it may actually affect Netmarble's revenues. So hopefully that guy is good. If not, that sucks. But without further ado, guys, let's dive right into it. I'm not gonna make this super long. There's a lot of information in this. I've never seen such detailed patch notes from Netmarble in the history of them making freaking patch notes. Okay, never seen one that looks as detailed and thorough as this one ever. So this may actually be due to the fact that they messed up and they didn't want to make too many mistakes in this patch notes to make it so that people rage even more. So hopefully this is something we see in the future, where they try to be as detailed as possible, because that is often the case with these guys, where they make some silly mistakes and don't put stuff in the patch notes and people rage about it, and then come to find out that those things that they missed out of the patch notes actually made it into the game, and people find that out later on. Now with that said, guys, let's actually go ahead and dive right into these patch notes. Like I said previously, there's a lot of information here, so I won't dwell too much on any one thing, because of the fact that I don't want to make the video super long. But as you guys can see right here, we're getting 10 new uniforms inspired by Marvel's Avengers Infinity Wars. And the reason why they're doing 10 uniforms, in my opinion, is because of the fact that Marvel's Avengers Infinity Wars is actually the product of the last 10 years of Marvel movies. So I think that's the reason why we're getting 10 uniforms. Okay, that's what the 10 signifies to me. This is the product of the last 10 years of Marvel movies. It's going to be interesting to see if part 2 also has 10 more uniforms. That would be crazy. 20 uniforms in 2 months. That's going to be insane, guys. Insane. That's insane in terms of the workload that Netmarble must be under, and insane in the amount of crystals that we're going to have to spend if we want to get these uniforms, because a lot of these characters are actually fan favorite. On top of that, we're actually getting a new tier of power, T3, tier 3. We already knew that. They're fixing world boss mode, making it more difficult, more challenging, and overall better, hopefully. Let's see how well the drop rates actually stack up to the challenge that we now have to face. On top of that, they're giving us another legendary battle, which has become a staple now. Whenever we get a Marvel movie, you can always expect that they're gonna put this in here as a way to promote the movie and a way to sell us an extreme package. Okay, crystal. So yeah. Now, when it comes to these uniforms, you can clearly see that something's missing here. None of them actually have any kind of uniform bonus or anything telling you what they can do. When we initially got these patch notes, when they were leaked, when they were not supposed to, they all had bonuses. Well, all of them except for Winter Soldier had a bonus, but Netmarble actually removed them because a lot of them were actually terrible. So I think they're actually revisiting these and they're finalizing them. So I think when it comes to update 4.0 and the patch notes, we're actually still missing about 20% of the information, in my opinion, because missing bonuses for 10 uniforms is actually a big deal, because in most cases, if the skill changes are not good, the uniform bonus is how people justify whether or not they're going to buy the uniforms. Not just being cool looking is not enough these days, okay? Like, look at freaking Groot, man. Groot looks like he's stoned out his freaking mind, guys. He went from being a cute, adorable, loving little bastard to looking like this. Like, he looks freaking miserable. Oh my goodness. So, cute factor, absolutely gone. I'm loving how Thanos looks. He looks like an absolute savage. I love Proxima. She looks evil as shit. Corvus looks exactly how he's supposed to look. Everybody else kind of just looks like, whatever. I guess Bucky's hair got longer. Freaking Widow's like blonde. Like, I don't really care about how these guys look. I'm really looking forward to seeing how well Cap plays with the double shield, but not too much to say about the uniforms because we don't know what the bonus is and we have not seen the skill changes. Really hoping that there's at least 3 skill changes for every single one of these uniforms because of the fact that they're actually premium uniforms. Okay, it looks like going forward, guys, you can expect to see more premium uniforms. So the days of spending 750 crystals for a uniform is almost over. Okay, I say almost because I'm still holding out hope that at some point we may once again see uniforms come to the game at 750 crystals. I don't know when that's going to be or if ever, but I'm just saying I hope those days are not completely dead and gone. As you can see, when these things are on sale, which is the only time you should buy them, pretty much all of them are going to be 1,000 crystals except for Thanos. Thanos, you're gonna have to pay big boy price. Okay, you're gonna have to pay 1,500 crystals because of the fact that this uniform has to be the exact same cost as the uniform that came before it. There is no way that Netmarble is going to make a uniform that is more powerful than the one that came before it and make it cheaper. No way that we're gonna do that. That's not their style. They could even make it more expensive, but they knew people would riot. Okay, really looking forward to seeing how well Thanos plays in this uniform because Thanos is one of the best characters for PvE and PvP with his current Secret Wars uniform. So I'm really looking forward to the skill changes on Thanos' uniform more than anything else because I think they're gonna keep the uniform bonus pretty much identical to what he has now with the Secret Wars uniform. So I'm looking forward to skill changes on Thanos. I'm really looking forward to it, man, because I want to see if he actually pulls a freaking moon or a planet out of space and smashes someone in the face with it like he looks like he's doing for Infinity Wars. That is going to be freaking amazing, and I know that's not beyond the realm of possibilities when it comes to Netmarble. They're really, really good when it comes to animating skills when they want to. So I'm very excited for that. I'm also looking forward to seeing how they do Groot, okay? Because Baby Groot's uniform in this game is actually really good already. So if they can't do better than Baby Groot with the cute factor, they gotta come with the skill changes. They gotta come with it. Everybody else, I'm really looking forward to Iron Spider, and I'm really looking forward to Iron Man actually becoming a top tier character in this game because I really like the Bleeding Edge uniform. So I'm hoping he's actually good. I have literally no hope for Winter Soldier. As much as I want the guy to be good, unless they give him a lot of help, I don't feel like he's gonna be a top tier character. But they did well with Punisher's premium uniform after people rioted, so hopefully Winter Soldier gets a similar treatment. Now, when it comes to the world boss content, as you guys can see, they changed up the user interface. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. As you can see, they also removed regular Thanos, and it's just going to be Infinity Thanos now. Like I said in a previous video, this is going to hurt some of the newer players, the very, very new people. But at the rate that we're getting tier 2 characters in this game, you should be fine in a week or two, and you should adapt to this very quickly, especially if you don't know any better, right? So, yeah. Not too much else to say here. As you guys can see, they also changed how normal, beginner, and ultimate modes look. I really like this design. I think it looks cool as shit. One thing I have to say here though is I don't know why we're only getting one world boss this month. I don't understand that. I don't understand it at all. The major complaint for Marvel Future Fight in the past 6 months has been new content. So they should have at the very least, gave us Proxima and Corvus if they didn't want to give us freaking Thanos. Why design these uniforms and show us that, hey, at some point these bosses are going to get really, really difficult and they're going to get pretty cool, but at the same time only give us Proxima? The rollout for update 2.0, when the world bosses were first released, we actually got, I believe, Proxima and Black Dwarf at the exact same time. I know they're trying to mimic what they did for update 2.0 when the world bosses were first released, but even back then we got way more world bosses initially released, so I was expecting more from them. I really like how Proxima looks in this new uniform. I thought the spear was going to be a little bit shorter. I'm happy it's not. It looks really, really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing how she plays. Now, when it comes to this raid level thing, this is actually pretty interesting. If you guys know anything about me, I'll be the first to tell you that up until this moment, the only characters you really needed in this game was Cable, Quicksilver, Jean Grey. That's pretty much the only characters you needed. Then Doctor Strange and maybe Wolverine. Those 5 characters you needed. Staples, okay? After that, you maybe needed like a handful of tier 2 characters. But now, thanks to the tier 3 system and World Boss Ultimate, they're actually making it so that you need to tier 2 as many characters as possible if you want to do well against these bosses. Because as you can see, not just having the characters is enough like it is for timeline battle, where if you own these characters you get a bonus and you do more damage. Now you actually have to have them at tier 2. So people like me who would just build characters and leave them at tier 1 now actually have a reason, a purpose to tier 2 these characters. And to me, it's a bittersweet, because you're gonna have people who are just tier 2ing characters even though they're absolute trash because they want a bonus. So in some cases you're gonna waste materials just because you want to do better against the bosses, and those characters are just gonna still be useless. So this is actually a really interesting turn of events, and people like me who've been sitting on thousands of materials for as long as I can remember finally now have a reason to tier 2 my characters. And depending on the difficulty of this thing, I may very well have to tier 2 pretty much all of my characters at some point. Scary to think about, because that is a lot of materials, and I'm hoping that I don't need to tier 2 people like Hulkling. Still hoping, because they're still trash. Now, with that said, let's actually go ahead and take a look at some more of this new content. As you guys can see right here, new advancement materials added to the World Boss Ultimate stage, okay? You have Dimension Dust, which I'm really hoping that you can combine Dimension Debris, even if it's 20-1, and make Dimension Dust, because people like me who literally religiously farm Dimension Rift have a really obscene amount of freaking Dimension Debris, and there is nowhere to put the freaking debris. I have about 500,000. I kid you guys not, about 500,000 Dimension Debris in my freaking inventory that I'm pretty much never going to be able to use. So I'm really hoping that some of the materials in the game that we have an obscene amount of, we can convert into some of these new materials. Even if it's 20-1, I would still take those odds when it comes to stuff like Dimension Debris, because I have an obscene amount of that. We have a Titan Pack, we have Cosmic Cube Fragment, we have Thanos Records. These are going to be the new materials that are dropping from World Boss Ultimate Stage. I'm really hoping that these don't take up inventory space, because this is one of the biggest complaints that I have with this game. I literally spend about half an hour every single day. I kid you guys not. As of right now, I spend about half an hour every single day managing my inventory space. And I'm really hoping that we either get an expansion that gives us about 100 more space for free, or they actually make it so that these things stack on top of each other and don't take up that much space. Really hoping they're like Urus and they just sit in your inventory and it's like they're never even there. Really hoping that. Also, I'm really hoping they have a decent drop rate, but I won't even get into that. Let's just wait and see what happens, because if the drop rate is pitiful, I don't need to say anything. The majority of the player base is going to be in an uproar, and Netmarble going to hear about it. Now, something pretty interesting here that I want to talk about is actually in regards to World Boss Ultimate getting more levels. Level 5 is already insanely difficult, and only Jean Grey and Cable can take it down in most cases. Getting more past 5 just seems mind-boggling. But then again, when we have tier 3 characters coming in the equation, I guess it's not going to be as hard anymore, but that is still very, very interesting. And I'm also interested in seeing what's gonna really change, because if all that's happening is the boss just becoming a little bit tankier and them hitting for more damage, that's not really fun and exciting. That's no Shadowland in my opinion. Okay, we'll just have to wait and see there. And then they go into detail and they're talking about the new tier 3 material where you have to clear World Boss Ultimate to gain rewards, and then after that you have to realize your potential. You have to work up to 100% and you can level up the potential of your characters, and you can actually get all the way up to level 70. So level 70 is going to be the new max level for all your characters, and also the gear level is actually going to increase from level 20 all the way to 25. So get ready to start rebuilding all the characters you already have built. 156 characters getting rebuilt. That is going to take a very, very long time. Okay, Also, they're talking about an all-new powerful active skill for your tier 3 advancement. This is actually pretty interesting. And going down this list, they're just talking about how you can realize your potential. And this is actually pretty interesting right here. This is one thing that I'm truly loving about this update. And it is the fact that Netmarble didn't just bring in new materials and completely shit on the old ones, because that's what we found to be the case with Netmarble in the past. When they release new materials, they make it so that we can't use the old materials because they want to halt our progress or force us to spend money. But in this case, they're actually making it so that we can use Black Antimatter and Chaos Normstone. Granted, the percent value for Chaos Normstone and Black Antimatter is most definitely going to be lower than the Cosmic Cube Fragment, but I'm still happy that we get the option. And I'm also really happy that this thing, as you guys can see, there is a 100% chance if you put enough of the materials required, you can just level up your character and you don't have to worry about RNG, which was a main thing for people complaining after they saw the initial release of the patch notes. You can also, if you want to be a wild boy, go ahead and try 99%. But for me, guys, I can honestly tell you, I'm going to do 100% every single time. There is no reason for me to try 99%, 99.9999%, none of that shit, because I know RNG is not my friend and I'm gonna get royally screwed. But unlike with Urus, even if you fail, guys, even if you fail, a fraction of your percent value will actually carry over. Okay, so that's actually really good there. Now this right here is the one major turnoff for me from this update, and that is the fact that when it comes to leveling up your characters from level 60 to level 70, you're going to need to use biometrics. And it doesn't matter if they're a tier 2 native, you're still going to need to use biometrics to level them up. That is a big turnoff for me. I'm really hoping that you don't need to actually use the same biometrics of the character to level them up. And the reason why I'm saying that is because of the fact that Agent Venom is right here, which immediately sparks the idea that Netmarble could say, hey, we can make a killing off this. We can make it so that premium characters like Luna Snow requires Luna Snow biometrics, and people have to buy the monthly bio selector to rank up those characters. And imagine literally just buying a character's biometrics to pour the biometrics into them. That is insane. I'm really hoping that's not how this thing actually works, and you can just use a random bio like freaking Hulkling, and those will actually level up your premium characters. So yeah, that's actually going to be interesting. This whole thing is just talking about the new materials. As you guys can see, Titan Record, Cosmic Cube, Dimension Dust, we have the Titan Pack. Yeah, that's all well and good. This is what I want to see. This is going to be a very intricate part of the update, the new skill, guys. Every tier 3 character is going to get a new active skill, and it's going to be a skill that actually has to be charged up, meaning you cannot use it regularly throughout the fight, but apparently it does a whole bunch of damage. What is going to be interesting to me right here is how is this going to work for characters with different uniforms? Because as you can see right here, the charge skill is a part of the new uniform for Captain America. So when Captain America takes off this uniform, what is going to happen to his skill? They're going to have to redesign a whole bunch of different, like I would say, tier 3 skills for different situations where people have different uniforms. That is going to be very interesting. Either that, or Captain America is going to have to put on his uniform, like this uniform, every time that he freaking uses his tier 3 skill. Or you can only use the tier 3 skill when you're in this uniform, which I think would be really freaking dumb. That's actually going to be a big thing for me. I'm excited to see just how much damage this skill does, how devastating it is to justify it having a charge up. And how does it charge up? Does it charge up from you taking damage, dealing damage, or just playing and over time it just slowly builds up? Or is it everything in between? That is going to be very interesting. This is just showing you guys the new cinematic battle. It says it's extreme for a reason, but Black Panther's pack was extreme for like what, 2 days, and then they nerfed it. So not really looking for a challenge here. This will be nerfed as soon as someone cries about it. And then these are just going to be rewards for ranking up the uniforms. Now, Right here, a lot of people are going to complain because of the fact that we're getting a CTP of refinement from ranking up one of the uniform, and the CTP of refinement is potentially one of the weakest CTPs, okay? It's basically the free-to-play poor man CTP, the one that I have. I would love to see a CTP of destruction here for mythicking a uniform, or a CTP of energy. I'm sure everyone else would justify that as well. So this is actually pretty freaking sad, okay? Pretty sad about that. It's probably going to be on one of the uniforms that people don't want to buy. Potentially Winter Soldier. Yeah. We also get a new premium card. It will be interesting to see how good it is. Does it stack up to one of the Loki cards, or is it like Black Panther card level? That's going to be interesting right there. They're also adding in, of course, they're not going to miss an opportunity to add in more premium items. But this one right here looks actually really good. $2, and you can potentially get yourself a 6-star mega rank up ticket. Now there's some RNG involved in this. Don't just think you're gonna buy this for $2 and you're gonna get a 6-star mega rank up ticket. No sir. You're going to have a chance, and I believe this lasts for 15 days. $2 for 15 days, that's actually really good. So you're gonna get 200 crystals instantly, and after that, every day I believe you're going to get a box, and in that box you can get one of these items. You can either get a 5-star or 6-star rank up ticket, you can get some clear tickets, some gold, you can get a 6-star mega rank up ticket, a 6-star mastery ticket. This right here I'm happy with, and I would potentially buy it if rank up tickets weren't eating up so much of my freaking space. Please, for the love of all things good, Netmarble, make it so that these tickets stack on top of each other. Do us a favor. We're begging you. For the life of me, like seriously, I really freaking hate that these things don't stack. They're changing the UI. This thing just looks really confusing right now, but I guess I'll adjust to it. It looks like it will take you pretty much wherever you need to go. That's all cool and good. They're also messing with Urus, making it so that you don't need to get your character to level 60 to get the Uru slots. And it's just a whole bunch of small little changes that, to be honest, people are not going to really care about, because of the fact that the tier 3 system and the World Boss Ultimate stage is all that we want to see. I would love it if we were getting more, but it looks like all we're getting is Proxima and the potential to tier 3 characters. It's going to be interesting, but that's all I have to say for this one, guys. It's been a lot longer than I wanted it to be. Till next time, boys, leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.